Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is just going to be a fairly short video. I'm going to be pulling apart this turbo manifold and we're going to be changing over the flange for the wastegate because we've got the new 60mm PROgate going on, and we also need to lift up this turbo just a little bit to clear some other things that are going on there. So let's get into it. We're planning on putting a 4-inch titanium dump pipe on this. And what I've got here is just a piece of scrap 4-inch, but you can see, hopefully, what I might do, I'll just zoom in on that a bit for you. We can see there that when we sit our 4-inch pretty much in line with where that's going to come out of the turbo, that's sitting hard on the manifold there, and we're still not really low enough to get that on a nice straight angle fit off the turbo. And by the time we put some of the extra V-bands that are going to be needed to join the stainless steel just here onto the titanium, it's going to be quite difficult. So what we've actually got is we've got the flange that came with the turbo to mount onto a manifold. It's the same as what's already on there, but luckily we've got a spare. So I'm actually going to use that to if we have a look at the bottom of the turbo, I'm going to basically just be welding that straight onto the manifold, and that should give us an extra sort of close to 20mm higher on the turbo there for the thickness of that, and that should give us that bit of clearance there to the manifold. So first thing we've got to do, pull this thing off, manifold off, and we'll start cutting it apart. So as I said, we're going to be putting this inlet flange for the turbocharger in place there to lift the turbo up. I was just taking some measurements because the sizing looked a little bit different, and interestingly enough, the inner part of the flange that seals on the turbo is actually a different size. So we've got right out around the 77mm mark for the new flange that came with the turbo, and then the one that's existing on there, I think that to sit right, is nearly 76.5. So there's quite a big difference there. So we should get some better sealing out of that, and then obviously we're going to be chopping off this one here because it's actually, I was thinking I might have just welded that straight onto there as well. But you can probably see in the camera there, without me doing much else, there's quite a big size difference there, which will cause quite a lot of restriction. So we'll chop that off. Jake's gone and got these absolutely beautiful titanium stud kits. So we've got the exhaust manifold studs and also the intake manifold studs as well, and they are an absolutely beautifully machined bit of kit and should do the job really nicely. Alright, this is a nice little surprise. Jake's gone ahead and bought a new compressor housing. Basically this one is T51r mod machined, and it's a much bigger inlet size. It does come with the V-band on there, but we're just going to be cutting that off to put on our Van clamps with the plasma clamps anyway, so that doesn't really matter. Interestingly, this is a 0.85, whereas the old one's a 0.9, so it does look a lot bigger. Most of all, with that T51r mod, the sound is going to be incredible. So we'll whip this cover off here now and get the new one fitted before we start doing any work, and that's going to have to come off again when we do the modifications to the housing, chopping that off to fit the clamps, but that's okay. We'll do a test fit so you guys can see. Okay, we can just very carefully give that a bit of a wiggle just to break the seal there, and that should just lift straight off very carefully. Alright, so be able to see there hopefully the difference between them. I'll put them side by side. The difference in the two housings, so you can see this one over here has got a much bigger compressor inlet compared to the old one, and yeah, nice billet wheel in these turbos. We've got everything really. It's amazing what you get for the money. Pretty nice stuff. So I'll do some measurements on this housing just so you can get an idea of the size difference. So that one there to the outside of the housing is, what's that, it's 5 inches, 128 mils. 128 mils on the outside of the housing for the new one, and the old one, massive difference. That's 100 mils, so that's a 4-inch. That's a 4-inch intake on the old housing versus a 5-inch. I'll just check what the difference in the size of the outlet of the compressor housing is. Full 3-inch outlet on that one there. Whereas this one, yeah, it's a bit different. It's probably 2.5. It's around 2 3/4 inch outlet on the other turbo there, so that might make some difference. The other housing, sorry. So yeah. So we'll slot this one back on in place very carefully. Easy does it. And that's a nice fit there. Give that a bit of a wiggle. Compressor still spins. That's it fitted. Got the new housing on. She's a beast. Okay, so that's going to be it for this one. Thanks for sticking around with me. We've got the turbo sitting up nice and high on the manifold there now. It'll give us clearance to start on that dump pipe. We've got the 60mm PROGate mounted. Probably not going to do the screamer pipe till a bit closer towards the end once the exhaust is built, so I know how much room we've got. And of course, everything's mounted on the brand new titanium stud kit, both the intake and the exhaust manifolds, just dummied up. So stick around for the next video. We're going to start working on this absolutely insane dump pipe coming off the Pulsar turbo here, and hopefully you've enjoyed the content so far, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have